You know, I've gotten to the point in my life where I replace the words big and large with Giga. And I must say, this is a Giga haul. Wait. Can we roll this again? Because I got like way more and bigger boxes. Yeah, this is much better. We're good now. You know, I always feel this innate pressure to up the stakes from the previous Giga Haul, to step up its game in terms of the scores and the content, the length even. And obviously that's not always feasible. It doesn't always work out that way. But for this one, I think it did. This might be the best, just overall well-rounded Giga Haul in terms of diversity of scores, the wildness of some of them, and I cannot wait to get into it. As you guys may already tell by what's on the table here, you might be able to realize that, yeah, this Giga Haul just feels different. This Giga Haul is built different. Giga Haul Part 19. Welcome back, everyone. You know, it's nothing special. It's not part 20. It's no anniversary. Just Giga Haul 19, but it will go down in history as one of the best. I guarantee that. So yeah, guys, thanks for coming back for another GH. We're going to dive right on in here with the stuff I have already kind of opened, and then we're going to get into some boxes like up here, and I have like 7 off to my left. So yeah, this is probably going to be a pretty large Giga Haul. First off, a couple plastic playset cards that I saw on Mercari for a very good price, so I decided to scoop them up. They aren't in perfect condition, but good enough for me. They came out of one of the more recent playsets, and the reason why I wanted them is because they're kind of like exclusive variants or variations of McQueen and Jackson Storm, who I'll show here in a second, that Mattel or no one's really done as a die cast. So this is plastic dirt radiator springs, a Lightning McQueen. You can see his tires are all dirty and the base is all muddy, and the radiator springs paint job has never been done in a Cars 3 McQueen mold before, and that is what this is here. So that's kind of interesting to see as well. It'll look nice in the collection video and make the collection seem more complete, at least in my opinion. So yeah, it's really cool. This is a Vietnam produced car on the, let's see here, so that's the first month, 22nd day of whatever year, I believe. Yeah, I think that's how you read those Vietnamese date stamps. But yeah, this one's cool. Not quite as awesome, in my opinion, though, as Dirt Track Jackson Storm. It's just so wild to see the sleek design get a little dirty, you know? Roll up his sleeves and get a little messy. So you got the same date stamp there, also plastic. And yeah, these are in really good condition for being coming out of a playset and just tossed up on eBay. You know, these are very kind of forgotten about. No one really cares about releases because of the fact that they were only released in a playset. But actually, they're quite nice and should be added to people's collection because this is basically a whole new version of Jackson Storm and McQueen. And I love how this guy looks with the muddy tires there. Would have been cool to have some mud detailing up along the sides here, but again, it is a plastic release. And I'm sure if they did do these as die cast, which is unlikely, they would be a little bit more detailed. All right, moving on over here. I got these from eBay. We have, can you guys guess what it is? I know you can see that it's Cal Weathers, but what's so special about Cal Weathers? Well, this one has rubber tires. So yeah, back in 2018, they did do rubber tire versions of Rust-eze Cruise, Jackson Storm, Chick Hicks, and Cal Weathers here. And I never got any of them really to open. I think I might have. Well, obviously I got the Chick Hicks to open because that Chick Hicks in and of itself was a new release, instead of the other 3, including Cal here, were just the same old with rubber tires that you really can't discern. But these are on eBay for cheap, and they don't even look rubber, you know, they're not shredded or anything, but you can definitely feel it, and you can bend off the rubber tire if you wanted to. You can see how I'm kind of bending it off there from the wheel. I'm not going to pull it all the way off because I'm sure it'd be very difficult to get back on, but you guys get the gist. Very cool, and kind of a weird line that they only did a few of, all in the same case as well, all in the scavenger hunt line along with metallic Maryland. And the case at first was extremely rare, and then it got released a little bit more broadly to Amazon, and Meyer got a bunch of them in, and then yeah, still pretty rare. It's not, you know, your everyday release, but It was, at first considered some of the rarest releases since Cars 3 had released. I think a couple of cases found their way to Target, and then that was it until they started to show up at, like I said, Amazon or Meijer stores, which even that, it's not super widely available. Here we have a factory custom of Even Mater. Very weird release here, or factory custom, I should say, not in a release at all. But yeah, they took basically Ivan Mater's paint job, the blue with the red towing cables and side view mirrors, and put it on a normal Mater, so he doesn't have the hood or anything like that. It's just the normal Mater model. It's kind of stupid, but it looks cool. It's kind of interesting to see a blue and red Mater. You can pretend that it's not supposed to be Even Mater. It's just supposed to be blue and red Mater. Patriotic Memorial Day Mater or something like that. But yeah, nice little factory custom off AliExpress, although I do believe they are now available on eBay if you don't like to do AliExpress, which is understandable. It's not quite as good as eBay in terms of buyer protection and just overall interface ease and facility. PN21763. Wonder what kind of Chinese factory customizer Easter egg that is, right? Never gonna find that answer out. All right, let's move on. This is a pretty new factory custom, not a lot of people know about. Really flying under a lot of people's radar is this Eugene Carbureski here, the Tanko racer from Cars 1. First off, he's got a white spoiler now instead of the pink, and also he's got this black line going down the side of him here and up toward the front around the fenders there. Very odd, at first it looks very natural until I drop it like that. And yet it is not natural at all. He should have a white stripe there, I believe. So yeah, pretty cool factory custom. I love when they do kind of like alternate piston cut racer paint jobs. And they've done a lot of them now. Probably about for half the fleet. Or at least, I don't know, probably not that many because they've spread them across next gens and the Cars 3 stock cars as well. But it does feel like a substantial amount that they've done in quote unquote alternative paint jobs. Next up is this super rare pin set for the Disney Cars Star Wars collaboration. I got this on a very obscure website. Surprised it wasn't a scam, honestly, but I did my due diligence beforehand to make sure it wasn't. And so I'm very happy this showed up at the doorstep. It's got Luigi as C-3PO, Guido as R2-D2, Sally as Princess Leia, Mater as Darth Vader, Lightning McQueen as Luke Skywalker, Fillmore as Yoda, and Tractor as Stormtrooper, all in kind of scale with each other too, although, yeah, Guido does look a little big compared to McQueen, so yeah, maybe not all in scale, but it's super awesome. You can get some of these on eBay, like separately, individually, but I don't believe I saw a full set of these on eBay when I checked to make sure I was getting a good deal. But yeah, this is so cool. I believe this was sold, yeah, at the Disney parks for $35. Which is pretty expensive in and of itself. May the force be with you. But yeah, this is so cool, and I couldn't be more excited to have something unique like this and share it with you guys, because not often do I, have something this obscure. It's a lot of die-cast, factory customs, prototypes, etc. But a cool pin set like this, that kind of gets the juices flowing these days. Now we're going to skip these guys for now, even though you guys might be a little bit more curious about them. Well, we can do this one, I suppose. This is a Jim Scavenger custom next gen tank coat pity for Rich Mixon in a nice metallic pink. Just a beautiful color. Beautiful color. And hopefully I'll be able to get a next-gen Tanko crew chief here soon. And ultimately, the goal is to have a Tanko hauler, at least for Cars 1, and do a Team Tanko video. It's one of my favorite teams, and yet I don't have a hauler for it. Obviously, it was canceled, but I have a custom for a lot of the haulers, except for Tanko. But yeah, this is just a beautiful shade of pink, and he'll look very nice with Rich Mixon, I'm sure, who now has some more metallic features himself. So yeah, this is really cool. And as you guys know, I've been kind of stacking up on the Gym Scavenger Next Gen team members. I got the Taco Mint ones a while ago. I have the Apple set, which I plan on reviewing. Not sure when that's going to come out, if it's out before this video or after, who knows, but I already have Giga Haul Part 18 recorded and not posted yet, so I really don't know when this one will drop. But next up here we have Luigi. Now, can you guys figure out what this is? It is a prototype, because as you can see, it has the code engraved there of 208. I'll show you guys the base here. FLJ86 is the product code. Looks like a pretty traditional Luigi, although I'm sure you might be able to tell that the expression is different than normal. Any guesses? Any guesses? It is none other than the canceled version of Easter Luigi. That's right. There was going to be an Easter release of Luigi and Guido, I'm sure, as well. And it was just going to be this normal one with this slightly different expression and then one of those Easter baskets. So yeah, kind of lame, but also super duper cool. The fact that this has flown under the radar for forever. And now I've been able to figure it out along with the help of Trunk Fresh Green 34. He worked his wizardry to confirm that this is indeed corresponding to the canceled Easy Easter Luigi. I wanted to say Easy Idol. Nah, not that cool. Or maybe it is. Who knows? Because this is the only one that we know of. I think it's pretty awesome. And I'm very, very pumped about that addition to the old collection. Probably not quite as pumped as I am with these two, though. You guys, if you know anything about canceled cars, you probably know that the entire N2O Cola team experienced mass genocide. All 4 pitties canceled, one of them twice, and the crew chief and the hauler. I mean, same thing happened to Easy Idol as well. Maybe that's why I wanted to shout them out there. But yeah, I finally was able to obtain the tall canceled N2O Cola Pity. Something that I've been wanting for forever. I almost get emotional talking about this because way back in 2010 when I saw these guys on eBay, I always thought they'd be released. And so I never ever considered trying to buy them on eBay. Yes, because they were available, a few of them on eBay, from Chinese sellers, along with Bertha Butterswagen, Benny Caliper, etc., right? But I was like, oh, those will just get released. I can't justify spending $50 on a car that's going to be released in a few months. You dumb, stupid. I'm going to stop there. But seriously, yeah, I was like, oh yeah, $50. Now, I mean, that is an absolute steal for a canceled car like this, really any canceled car. And this one would go for many times that. So super excited and very grateful to have this in my collection. You guys might know that I was able to obtain the wide one several months ago. I've already had the short one for years, and I got the crew chief a couple years ago as well. So all I would need now, actually I got the semi a while ago as well. I would need the trailer and then the pity with the gun to have the entire canceled team. Probably never going to happen, but hey, a few years ago, I never thought I'd even be able to get these pitties here because of how rare they are. So yeah, I'm gonna probably do a video on this and the wide one here soon. It's not in mint condition, but that gives it some character. And I am so excited to have this into my collection, even more so than Easter Luigi. I'm sorry, my guy. Now here's another wild one that came along with the N2O Cola Pity, and that is Metallic Poly Puddlejumper. But was she intended to be released metallic, or is this a prototype? I'm going to lean more on the side of prototype. There are no base markings whatsoever. It's a completely naked base, which is a little weird, to be honest. But yeah, there were metallic versions of several cars from this era that weren't quote-unquote released, but I do believe that they were just prototypes for the ones that did get released. Those include Derek Decal's Dobbs, Mini, and Poly Puddlejumper. There might be another 2 in there or something, but those are the main ones. I believe that kind of Mildred Bylane in 2010, like if that one did get released in 2010, she was canceled, but if she did get released, the one that we had seen prior to her release would look more metallic, because it was like a very, very gold type of color. So that one might have been included too, but because she was just canceled altogether, it really just all runs together. But yeah, I will do a review of metallic poly here at some point as well. Just a super cool, beautiful shade of blue. The mouth plate doesn't quite match the main metal body, but hey, that's kind of what we've come to expect. I love the fact that the flag even itself is metallic, the side view mirrors, everything. Just a beautiful car. And again, something that I'm very excited to have in the collection that I never ever thought I would be able to get. Obviously, it's something I've wanted and I've always thought about, like, oh, hey, that would be cool to get. The metallic mini, that'd be cool. But I mean, I have never seen these available until that one was offered to me. So, whew, get emotional, guys. I mean, the fact that these things surfaced 13 plus years ago and now I'm getting them, it's just like, wow, you know, patience, guys, patience. It's a good lesson. All right, before we get into these boxes, I do want to show you another Disney Parks item like those minis, or those pins rather, no minis. This is a Mater's Junkyard backdrop done by an artist. I'm forgetting his name, but I believe it's Polish. Yeah, it's like Olszewski. Yeah, Olszewski. Looks like it. Tomater display. Very descriptive, but yeah, it is Mater's Junkyard done as a just kind of L-shaped backdrop here. Not a building or anything like that. And this artist did two. He did the Piston Cup Dynaco 400 display, which you guys have probably seen in many, many of my videos. I love that display, and it was much more useful for me to have going throughout my years as a YouTuber and photographing cars, doing videos and all that stuff. Whereas this one, excuse me guys, I'm sorry, wasn't quite as fruitful. It didn't have as much utility as the other one did. But at this point in my collecting tenure, I figured why not add it to the collection, because it looks gorgeous and I'm sure I'll be able to use it. It's got a nice textured bottom here with a great backdrop. I'm sure I'll be able to use it for stuff instead of printing out all those sheets of paper to use for my thumbnails. Wow, please press F in the chat to pay your respects for my voice that just vanished on me there. Had something to drink, put something in the stomach. Let's see how it goes. I don't know what happened there, but sorry about that. We're gonna move right along with some more Gym Scavenger customs. I feel like I need to like mix them up, you know, because they're all in these fancy boxes now. These are awesome. I love that he made these custom boxes for his customs. They look awesome. And yeah, you can check them out on Facebook and Instagram, which I always have linked when I review something of his. And all of this stuff will be reviewed at some point. Some of it might not get reviewed until October, but hey, I like to take it slow, space everything out. Here is a Taco Mint stock car. So used to saying next gen, but it is a Cars 3 Taco Mint stock car. Probably one of my favorite customs in this haul, or at least recently. Very underrated just in terms of my perception, because this opens the door to getting all those other stock cars that were not in Cars 3. Fiber Fuel Retread, Shifty Drug, Sidewall Shine, etc. And this is just step one in that for my favorite sponsor. So very cool to have this. Love the gray rims. Just a nice brown color, which is something that we are not used to seeing in the Piston Cup these days. A lot of blue and green and purple a little bit, but nothing too much on the brown, yellow, even red scale. So very excited. Love these boxes. Let's see what else we have in here. Love the felt that he's using. Oh my goodness. We got some more Piston Cup action. Some Cars 1 Piston Cup action here. This might look familiar because this is a custom of a canceled car, guys, which makes it all that much more exciting. The Fiber Fuel Crew Chief was supposed to come out in early to, actually no, it was like mid to late 2019, and unfortunately he was canceled. I believe his name was going to be Andrew Buttes because Megan Shifter, the Fiber Fuel Pity, was sometimes mislabeled as Andrew Buttes internationally. That was an error that probably there's maybe 200 out there of. There's not many at all. I'm fortunate enough to have one, but You know, probably there's more than that, to be honest, but it was only internationally and still extremely rare. So I will be doing a review on this guy and making a big deal out of it because we now have the Fiber Fuel Crew Chief that Mattel was too weak to make. So we leave it up to customizers who are always there to swoop in and save us. But he used a Chuck manifold for this, which looks really good. Very excited about that. And then you might be able to guess what's in this box then based off of that. Something that follows the same suit and also, again, is my favorite sponsor. You guys guess? Lots of guessing today, but this one should be an easy one. The Taco Mint Crew Chief from Cars 1. Oh my god, this is incredible. Beautifully done. Love how accurate it looks to what Mattel would have done, and when I review these individually, I will show what they would have looked like, of course, because Mattel did post the stock images for both of them on Walmart's websites, and I think maybe Amazon. They leaked out on their listings there, but never came in stock. Just beautiful. Love the chrome wheels. He used a Ben Dordan here, which, although the microphone's on the wrong side compared to what Mattel's stock image shows, who cares? Mattel didn't release it anyways, and this is just way easier to do because Ben Dordan is the same model, and so why rip the headset off when he's already got one? It's just facing the other way. So yeah, I cannot wait to review him. You'll probably see my review of him before the Fiber Fuel Chief, just because I play favorites sometimes. And then up next here is, oh my god, I forgot the name that Epic Green Thunder gave her. Probably gonna kill me. I think it's like Miyata Masaki or something like that. Mazda Mazaki, something along those lines, because it is a Mazda Miata. This appears in the Cars 2 Tokyo montage when McQueen and Mater are doing all sorts of fun stuff around the city before the party. She appears at the sumo wrestling ring when they show the stands there around Mater, McQueen, and the squad. Now, Jim Scavenger did deem her Leah, which is pretty creative because of the fact that she uses the same model as Mia and Tia, and Leah is kind of like another name that rhymes with that. You couldn't have gone like Dia, because that's not like a name. I'm sure somebody's named Dia out there, but Leah, Mia, and Tia are much more common and they all rhyme. But yeah, just again, a very beautiful metallic blue color here. And super excited to add another background character to the squad here. Something that Mattel could have easily done because they have the exact model for this. They release Mia and Tia a lot, but they just never did. So yeah, maybe this is like Mia and Tia's distant, long-lost cousin or sister or something like that. Leah. But yeah, let's clear all this out of the way. Some nice felt pillows in there. I might have to use those one of these days. All right. I think that's it for Jim Scavenger today. Sorry, my guy. You did have like 4 customs in this video, so I think you're eating pretty good. And so am I. Now on to some more random online scores. This one popped up because I realized that there were quite a few international only Cars Tune releases in early 2017. The one that I really knew about was Stunt Mater, and Stunt Mater was only released as a single in this format. Like, this is the only time he was released as a single. Otherwise, you had to get him in a 4-pack back in 2010, or you could get the plastic one from the playset. So this was a pretty significant release, though. That's the only one that I got and really cared about. Mator here would have been awesome, but he was canceled, and so was Dr. Mater there. So was these other ones from the year, even though they were released in previous years in similar packaging, like Heavy Metal McQueen Komodo, Rescue Squad Trooper. But these 3 were released, but only in Europe. So decided to add Dragon McQueen here with oil stains to the collection, all the way shipped from the United Kingdom. And if you guys remember, I think in a previous Giga haul, I got Dragon Lightning McQueen loose with the oil stains for the first time. But yeah, now I got this one in the package. Looks great. And again, this is an international only release. Never in the United States in that packaging. All right, then we have this. Yeah, it looks kind of like a Nike shoebox, but Some of you guys might know what it is, and kind of out of my comfort zone in terms of what I usually buy, but something that I was very intrigued about, and I pre-ordered it in mid-January when I was in Las Vegas, in fact. It feels like so long ago that I was in Vegas, but yeah. This certifies that your Paul George and Nike X Hot Wheels Circle Tracker was built through the collaborative efforts of the designers and artists at Mattel. So yeah, this is a Nike Hot Wheels collaboration available on the Mattel Creations website, which has the most elite Hot Wheels and Redline Club exclusives, which I am not a member of, but they still have some non-exclusives. I just love how they package this with the tissue and all that stuff. I'm not sure how I'm going to display this, but it is a gorgeous car. I can't take it out of the package here because it's so easy to. This is just beautiful. A Paul George Hot Wheel, guys, on top of the world. Love the different wheels that they have on him. The flame job, everything, the Nike logos. Plastic base, though, unfortunately. I'm a little disappointed about that. But overall, this is a beautiful release and certainly a unique piece in terms of the Hot Wheels kind of eclectic, the whole Hot Wheels repertoire, I guess. They have a Nike kind of basketball player type thing. I'm not the biggest basketball fan in the world. In fact, I prefer baseball and football over basketball and probably hockey too, but this was just too cool of a piece to pass up. And I love the packaging, like I said, that they did for it here. Very cool. Yeah, it literally looks like a shoebox. All the Nike shoe boxes, at least when I used to buy them, which was back in like the early 2010s, were these bright orange colors. Excuse me again. Hopefully that's not a recurring trend with my cough. Let's put that back in there. All right, so while we still have that Cars Tune guy fresh in our minds, I do want to pull out another one that you might be able to guess which one it is based on seeing the card back from a couple moments ago. We got garbage in here, don't need that. That's when somebody sent me a mask. Yeah, believe it or not, somebody literally sent me a mask. A just plain surgical mask that we've been using for the last few years now in a little envelope. Creepy, gross, and hopefully nothing comes from it. So yeah, this is the other one that was only released internationally on a much better card here too. But this one was much cheaper than the Dragon McQueen. For whatever reason, even though I assume they were all released in the same quantities, Dragon McQueen, Stun Mater, and Big Fan, the cases must have included just these three. Maybe it included one of the other ones, but it's just super rare. Definitely not Mator, but it could have been one of these other ones here. Probably Rescue Squad Trooper or Heavy Metal McQueen. And you'd be able to tell by the back of the packaging here, but on the front, it could look identical to the previous year. So that's where it really is tricky. But yeah, these ones only released once, so we know that they are from the International 2017 run. And yeah, this one's really cool because they did Bucky Breakdust a few years before this, and then Big Fan, who was the original Mater the Grayer fan, Bucky came later and was just a blue copycat of him, got to shine again. So very cool. And again, nice to have that kind of Cars Tune International segment taken care of, if you catch my drift. All right, what else we got here? Another box. Gonna be saying that a lot. Oh my God, let's not hit anything back there. This is a big one. This one would have been really fitting back during April, during the Easter season, because we got some eggs. We got some eggs here, and they are looking great, man. This is on a phenomenal card, considering it came from 2007. And this one is too. Wow, they are both almost mint. Was not expecting that because I have the McQueen, not on the back of the package there, but I have a McQueen from this year. It's in horrible shape. These are in perfect condition, so that's really exciting. But of course, you have a Chick Hicks egg and a Sally egg. I believe they only did 3 for 2007. They did many each year, all the way up until like 2011. And I don't really think they did too many after that, but these are just iconic because the eggs are so big and colored toward the main character. They just look great. Of course, the McQueen one's red. And yeah, that'll definitely be a video one day. It's like, how many eggs has Mattel released? Yeah, these are awesome. Very happy to have them in the collection. All right, moving right along. Throw that box over there. Now here's something you guys might not have seen yet. Or maybe you have. Maybe you didn't know it was out and about yet. All right. Now, obviously nothing too groundbreaking because all of these have been released as singles in 2023 Singles Case F. But this is a beautiful presentation and just overall aesthetically pleasing box set that has 5 of the 6 so far Disney 100 releases. There is going to be a 7th of Cruisin' McQueen, but we really have no idea how that's getting released, at least at this moment in time here. It's going to be some sort of promotional type single, I don't know, but we'll find that out. Either way, they excluded Doc Hudson from this box set, and we talked about it when this was first revealed. You know, I've been saying, like, what kind of decision was that to exclude Doc? They were probably like, all right, McQueen and Mater have to be in it. If we include Ramon, we have to include Flo, and vice versa. So it comes down to Sally versus Doc, and then they flipped a coin. Sally won, and that's just how it went. Or maybe it's just because Sally is way more tied to McQueen. These are the more present characters. Sorry, Doc. That's really harsh to say, but I mean, it's just kind of what we're interpreting from Mattel. Either way, let's not taint the moments here. Beautiful 5-pack Disney 100 celebration. Great way to, you know, kill 5 birds with one stone here. This is available for pre-order on Amazon. And by the time you're watching this, it might be available just to simply buy, or maybe it's out of stock. Who knows? But yeah, man, I love the beautiful images they put on the back here. So crispy, so shiny. Maybe not quite as shiny in real life, but it still looks really good. I did get this from GetMeCollectibles, though. I was like, screw Amazon. I know if I buy it from them, it'll arrive all mangled, probably half open. So GetMeCollectibles, I was like, hey man, hook me up with one of these. And he sent it in mint condition. So can't complain about that. Definitely check him out. I'll leave the link in the description below. And yeah, the link in the description below is email. If you want to send him a note inquiring about a specific item, he'll hook you up. He's got so much stuff on his eBay store. It's literally mind-blowing. Yeah, you could waste a whole day going through his eBay store, which I've done before. I have. All right, moving along here. I think I have something more from GetMeCollectibles in the near future here, but this is not it. Lots of bubble wrap, though. Again, just expanding upon the diversity of the scores of this Giga haul, we have a mini adventures set of Todd Marcus and Eugene Carbureski, the tank coat racer. Just such a cool little 2-pack. Again, the mini adventures line is so underrated. I mean, they did so many Piston Cup racers, and this is on a mint card as well, so that's awesome. Honestly, these weren't that bad compared to the micro drifters. Well, the micro drifters I think were the worst. But the mini racers, they're die-cast, but I mean, these are pretty awesome too. I mean, just look at them. It's a nice 2-pack there for sure. And these were way more widely available than the mini racers are now. And they had all these cool expanded universe releases that were wacky, like that tractor there, but it was a good balance. You know, you had the monster truck chick and McQueen, which everyone loves. They even had some haulers in this line. They even had the Octane Gain hauler, which is just crazy to think about, but they did. So yeah, there's that. All right, I got a few more GetMeCollectibles items here. It's in a big box, so I'm just going to leave that on the floor and take what I have out of the box. So you guys remember that game several years ago now, probably around like 8 years ago, Disney Infinity? So I actually played it. I had all the figures, but they're all loose. So I was like, hey, GetMeCollectibles had an auction of literally all the figures that they released for cars for Disney Infinity. And the auction, no one cared. Like, no one bid on it except for me. So I was like, all right, I'll take those. You don't have to ask me twice. So the 2 singles and then the 2-pack here with Holly, Shiftwell, and McQueen. Kind of an odd selection of characters that they did for this. There's no Mater. At least I don't believe they released Mater. I think this is all they did. I could be wrong about this. Actually, you know what? They probably did release Mater. They had to have released Mater, right? I don't know. We'll find out. I'm sure you guys will let me know. But yeah, it was a fun game. It wasn't anything earth-shattering, but it was fun. I actually quite enjoyed it. But yeah, this was cool. You could connect these figures to like a gamepad, and then you could play as them in the game on the Wii or whatever. Kind of like Skylanders, which I also really loved. It was a very interesting like business marketing type method, you know, to have everyone buy your game. Not only the game, yeah, they did do Mater, I'm stupid. But then just continue to buy figures and whatnot. You know, they release all these figures and they continue to come out with more. So it's almost like you can't fail. You know, the game never goes dead because you're always getting stuff. So, yeah. This came out soon after Cars 2. So that's why they did these Cars 2 characters. Holly was kind of an interesting pick. Probably because they wanted a female character to balance it out there. And not Sally, because Sally wasn't as prominent as Holly in Cars 2. But yeah, you have Francesco, who looks pretty awesome. High-speed Italian racer, my guy. And then they did this exclusive Toys R Us. Clear McQueen. Of course, they had to make a chase, right? And he did look like that in the game, which was pretty awesome. Not gonna lie. High-speed racing stunts. Awesome. So yeah. I have no idea where I'm going to display those because they're kind of awkward and big, but buy first, ask questions later. That's what I always say. All right, I think we're on to the big box now, the massive girthy box that I cannot bring up onto the table. So I will just pick things out of it one by one. Now, this is the same box that I got the N2O Cola Pity from, the Metallic Poly, and Luigi. Different sellers, but all came from China from, again, helping my beloved friend. She always helps me get these things. I've mentioned her many times in previous Giga hauls. It seems like every other Giga haul, there's something from her. And oh my God, I couldn't get any of this stuff without her help. So I want to give her a big shout out. I'm sure she's watching this right now. You know who you are. Thank you so much for helping me get things that I've dreamed about for over a decade. So yeah, some of these items I haven't dreamed about, but this one I have. Okay, so I certainly am most grateful for that one. Now this here is a prototype Mater. You can see it's got the code on his roof there, 428. I believe this is the fan favorites version of Mater because he's supposed to have the piston cup insert hat up here. That obviously just was not attributed to this prototype in particular. So it kind of just looks like a basic Mater with a chip on its roof, but it's a code. Yeah, pretty standard. But you guys know I love my engineering prototypes, which is what these are called, the ones with the codes there. We got lots of napkins today, guys, so I'm going to be eating good. I'm going to be eating clean as well. All right. Moving on to the next item in the box. We have Surfin' Safari John Lasseter, but it's a prototype. Now, I may have to do a little bit more inspection to see if this is just like a prototype of a good factory custom or a prototype of the real deal or what. I am not sure. I'm probably going to lean toward, you know what, this is a pretty rectangular roof. I'm not sure. I need to look at how the real one looks again because the real one has a trapezoidal roof. The fake ones have rectangular, not roofs, but back windows. This one looks pretty, I don't know, it's kind of mixed to me. I can't really tell if we could focus in here. It's definitely a trapezoid, but I feel like the real one is a little bit more defined. I'm not sure. I need to look into it. Either way, you could tell that the surfboard's not painted, right? So, prototype in some regard. Even if it is of the factory custom, it's one of the better ones. And you still can't even get these. Like, for whatever reason, you used to be able to get these for very cheap on eBay from China. Well, the worst factory customs, this is definitely one of the better ones that sold off many, many years ago. But just like 2 years ago, you could get one of these on eBay for a very reasonable price, and now they're all gone, which is just wild. So crazy how factory customs can just dry up like that. So that's why, if you guys notice, I kind of buy at least 2 of all factory customs these days, because they dry up and then, you know, everyone wants them, but no one can get them. Supply and demand. It's an investment. Here we have another engineering prototype of race fans, fan favorites. There we go. Sheriff 137. I already have a prototype of the Sheriff, an engineering prototype, but nothing like having another one, right? Maybe I have back-to-back numbers. That'd be cool. I'll have to look. Actually, I don't. The other one I have is 328. That's right. I looked at it last night. 328, not even close. This one's got a little napkin residue on the flags there, but that's all right. Everything else looks really good. So he can go with Mater. They're both from the same series. All right. Now this one kind of blows my mind a little bit. I really have no idea what this is. Maybe you guys can help. It's what I like to call blow, because it's blue flow, blow, get it? Ha, 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 ha. Is it a prototype? Is it somebody's concoction in their basement? God knows. I'm going to go with prototype. It makes me sleep better at night. It looks pretty cool, I must admit. It's a little bit rough around the edges. You can see how the paint bubbles in many, many areas. And the center roof here, which is plastic, is still teal. So yeah, very weird, but I'm going to call this one a prototype. Maybe the only reason, or the only way to find out is to like chip the blue paint and see what's underneath. But all the plastic pieces are the teal, so who knows? No date stamp, although this could be an older flow. I don't know. It's a mystery. Maybe one I don't want to find out, but blue flow looks pretty cool. Now this is really going to blow your mind, something that no one has ever seen before. At least no one human has. What do we call this, guys? Do we call this Sheriff as Max Schnell? Do we call this Max Schnell as Sheriff? Do we call this Sheriff as Ice Racer Max Schnell? Because it technically is like the Ice Racer decals. See that blue in there? Or do we call this Color Changers Sheriff as Max Schnell? I have no idea. Do we call this German Sheriff? I have no idea. Fan of Max Schnell Sheriff? I have no clue. All right, I'm going to stop there before I get annoying. But yeah, this is so weird. It's a Color Changer Sheriff, but he's got Max Schnell, Ice Racer Max Schnell decals on him. Super beat up, and he's like caught in between his 2 color phases of the black and the teal. So yeah, I'll leave it up to you guys. What do you think this is? What the hell is this? Because I have no idea. It looked cool though. So I was like, all right, I'll take one. Look cool. I'll probably put it with like my weird, no idea what this is type of releases or types of cars. I have that section now. I had to make that section of the, I have no idea what the hell this is. I'm just going to make a spot for all those cars because they're kind of starting to pile up these days. And if that wasn't enough for you, we have Race Team Sarge as Ice Racer Max Schnell as well. Both of them, Sheriff and Sarge, are fighting over Max. It's kind of cute. I kind of like it. But yeah, this is another Color Changer's body. You can see it's all plastic. But this one's just pretty much in his main color, the main army green. Not caught in between phases. This one's a little bit cleaner overall. Not as gnarly. But still pretty nice. Pretty nice. Or is it? Do you guys think this is ugly as heck? Very fair if you were to say that, because it is kind of an abomination. But maybe in a good way for some of you guys, like me. Alright, moving right along. We have a freebie. Someone, I don't remember which seller, but tossed this one in for free. It's a prototype of the Vietnam rubber tires Chick Hicks that we were talking about earlier. You can see they slapped a beautiful sample sticker on here, and my lamp just went off, so that's wonderful. It does have a date stamp though, but it also has this additional code down here that is not on the normal version. If I can peel back the sticker a little bit, you can see that P00035. That is not on the normal version, which I actually happen to have right here. You can see it's not on it. So it is a prototype in some regard. Very late in the game though. But yeah, that's cool. Pretty beat up, but again, it wasn't something I paid for. It was a little freebie. I'll take it. There's another freebie in here somewhere. Let's just get it out of the way. Yeah, here we go. It's a mini adventures, in fact. It's Lightning McQueen with the light bar. Cute. Cute, cute, cute. Is it going to make me want to get all the mini adventures? No, I already wanted to get them all, but probably not feasible. There's too many of them, and some of them are really rare, so it'd be really difficult to try and get them all. But what I am more focused on are canceled cars. And canceled cars that get uncanceled kind of fall by the wayside and no one cares about them anymore, except for me. I actually used to have this at one point, traded it away for something better, and I still wanted it, so I was able to acquire it finally again. Nicky B, the Chinese version of Nicky B from early 2017. Obviously, he was uncanceled and released in 2020, 3 years later, but they are quite different, in fact, and I'll probably do a review at some point on this, comparing the two. But yeah, it's kind of wild. I usually don't trade something away if I only have one of it, but I figured because of the fact that Nicky had been released and what the person wanted in return was, in my opinion, much better, at least for me personally, and so I was like, I will definitely do that trade, and hopefully sometime down the road I'll be able to get it back through another avenue, and I did. So I guess it all worked out in the end. My calculations were correct. Now, I got another freebie in here. I got a basic Jackson Storm. Couldn't give, actually, oh, I think it is a prototype after all. It looks basic, but it has a weird stamping down here, PO2972. Kind of like the Chick Hicks I just showed you, but everything else is the same. I mean, there's no code on him, no nothing. But it is technically a prototype, so I will give the seller that. It wasn't giving me just a complete piece of poo. Sorry, Jackson. This, on the other hand, is a definite prototype in several ways. Listen up. First of all, you have your engineering code of 143 stamped on his roof there. Second, he's a lighter gray. Third, and most important, he is simply bigger. That's right. Oh my gosh. My voice is just all over the place. I'm just getting too excited. There was a variant of Jackson Storm early in the 2017 run that was larger than others. And this is what that prototype, this is kind of how that derived from. This was, you could also see it doesn't have the window bars there like the other prototype here does. But yeah, they were intending on doing Jackson Storm bigger, and then ultimately, as we all know, downsized him, but some of the bigger ones still got out. And this is a prototype for either, just all the Jackson Storms in general, or maybe specifically like the bigger ones that they were testing out. Who knows? But yeah, you could definitely tell that the one on the right is larger by a decent amount. Wider, longer, probably not taller, but still super cool. And it is one of the engineering prototypes that I've been trying to get in my collection for a while, and finally was able to procure it. All right. Might have to take another water break here, guys, because the voice is going crazy. So I'll be right back. I'm relating big time to this cancel Lights and Sounds race team Mater right now because my voice doesn't work either, buddy. Sorry. Yeah, when you press on the hood here, which is supposed to be the button to activate his voice, which probably doesn't have batteries in there, but if he does, they are dead because he is not working. Maybe they didn't even upload the voice part onto this Mater yet. Who knows? That's actually probably a fun experiment to unscrew this little hatch here, see if there are batteries in there. I would assume not. They would have corroded by now, but yeah, it's interesting. This is my second one of these. I got one in a previous Giga haul as well. Very exciting. You can see it's got A17, whatever that means, in Sharpie there on the side. And guys, just so you know, you can't just write Sharpie on any car and call it a prototype, all right? let's not get carried away here. But yeah, very excited to have another one of these. This one's a little different. The finish is much more powdery, if you can tell, on the roof and on the sides there. Much more powdery-y. And he's got the speaker back there, but like mine, his voice doesn't work. Yeah, I don't know, just weird today. I usually have no problem just rattling off commentary for an hour plus straight, but today having issues with it for sure. But we're grinding here. I put some G2 Gatorade in the system, and I will be able to finish it, I'm sure. I'm confident. Here we have Miss Fritter. Not just any Miss Fritter, a prototype. Where is the code? There it is on her hood. An engineering prototype for the beast herself. 211. Very exciting. Yeah. Oh my God, you are so clumsy. But yeah, as you guys probably are noticing, a lot of those 2017 releases got these engineering prototypes and leaked out. I'm sure almost everything got an engineering prototype like ever released, at least, you know, since they started doing them, which was back, well, as far as we know, they started doing them in 2013, probably even further back than that. But a lot of the 2017 ones and a lot of the XRS ones have leaked out. And I actually almost have all the 2017 releases in engineering prototypes. And this is one that I was very excited to get because of the fact that it is such a novel character in Miss Fritter. And this is the matte variant with the better stop sign that doesn't have the gray border. Yeah, very cool. And it's kind of surprising because all the other, well, most of the other Demolition Derby racers that I got as these prototypes were glossy, even if they were released ultimately in matte. Like, for example, Broadside, APB a bit, T-Bone is one example of that. Taco, I think. I don't have one of him, but you guys get the idea. This one, however, is in its matte finish. All right, now here we have one that you guys have definitely never ever seen before. I will place a bet. You guys have definitely never seen this car before. It is Hudson Hornet Piston Cup World Grand Prix Lightning McQueen. That is a mouthful. Not sure if this is a prototype or whatever. Factory custom is probably what a lot of people are going to think, but because of its limited availability, I'm not sure it's a factory custom. Usually those come in droves, like that pink chick Hicks or the Ivan Mater back there. There are hundreds, if not thousands of those produced. These, like I said, it's not on eBay, so you haven't seen it. I know of a couple other that exist from the same seller. I only opted to get one. But this is a pretty awesome paint job, I must say. It looks great. It's got the Hudson Hornet Piston Cup expression. Everything is Hudson Hornet Piston Cup, except you got the spoiler there. That is straight off the World Grand Prix version. So it looks a little incongruous, but overall, very cool. Just a beautiful shade of red, too. So yeah, super weird, but hey, I'll take it. I think that's one of the most unique pieces in this Giga haul. And then more eggs. So this is a little weird here, something that you guys might not be familiar with here. Again, it feels like Easter with all these eggs here, but I believe these were for a Chinese kind of knockoff line. They did cars racing eggs where, oh my God, I don't even know how to expand these. These, oh my God, I just took it apart. Let's not do that. But yeah, they would expand into a car and then you could fold it up into an egg like this. You can kind of see how the wheels come off now. Man, I don't know how to expand these. I have no idea at all. Maybe this one doesn't work or something. But yeah, these are all prototypes for that kind of knockoff line. It's a piece of cars history. That's what it is. Here we have a Mater. Yeah, you can feel this is really like cheap plastic, but it's cool. It's cool. Look, yeah, that one folds up nicely. I like these pink and purple ones in here. This looks like Francesco Bernoulli. Yeah, again, I wish I knew how this kind of expanded, if it does at all. But yeah, there are a ton in here. There's a boatload. They were super cheap though, so I mean, these were literally about $1 each. This one is the King, I believe. Just a piece of Cars history right here. This one also, I think, is the king. I could tell by the wing back there. Oh, here we have a Francesco that's all unfolded. Yeah, that's pretty cool looking. That's pretty sweet. I'll take that. Another Mater. Another king. A different colored Mater, white and yellow. Is there a McQueen in here somewhere? It's another king, I believe. Francesco. Maybe this one's McQueen. I think this one must be McQueen, right? Right? I'm not sure. This one's the king, all separated. And then we have Francesco again. Interesting. I think this should go up here. I don't know. That looks like the spoiler, actually. Yeah, two different colored spoilers there. This one must go for something else. Oh, it must go over here to this one, maybe? Let's see if I could slot that in there. See if I could toss it in there. Yeah, there we go. All right. Pretty wild. Again, super crazy stuff today, guys. Let me know in the comment section below. What have you gotten recently? What have you gotten for your Giga haul? This is one of my favorites I've ever recorded. Probably going to be one of the longest too. Not sure if it is the longest, but yeah, of course we got the Disney Infinity stuff, which was pretty cool, pretty retro. We got also some modern stuff with the new and exclusive 5-pack for the D100s. We got some crazy rare prototypes like the N2O Cola Pity and the metallic poly Puddlejumper and Easter Luigi, Nicky B, those color changer Max Schnell, Sheriff and Sarge, whatever the hell those are, the eggs, a Nike Hot Wheel, Mini Adventures, Cars Tunes that were exclusive internationally, incredible Gym Scavenger customs, just all around a great haul. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. This one was a lot of fun, guys. I can't wait to see you next time for Giga Haul Part 20. Bye now.